Alright, welcome back to Soul Spark Tarot. I'm your host, Mr. Renew. And today, got a weird angle. Showing my whole face. I guess the part we can see. But, got today a little channel message. I woke up and wanted to start yapping, so I realized that I can just yap on the yap channel, and then I could come in and do the spiritual message. Just because some days I just want to talk, man, and some days I want to talk and not go to work, and some days I want to talk, not go to work, and then go work on something else. So it's all about choosing what I want to work on. So here I am working on some cards now, opposed to just talking. Then I'm going to go work with the people. Then I'm going to work with my body. And then I'm going to work with the services. And just going to keep on doing it. All right. So we got probably going to do like a single card pull. But I got a few announcements. Number one, A Tale of Self-Help is a new book that has been released. It has been revamped, and it is an old book, but I love it. It's such an awesome book. So, if you're looking for self-help and you don't know what it looks like, A Tale of Self-Help will help you visualize the journey for you. So, go check it out. It is based upon a true story as well, of a memoir, essentially, from interactions with a student across the year. So, yeah. Let's go see how soul inspiration is applied so you can learn how to help yourself. And it's the perfect time, man. It's the perfect time. You don't want to be doing all of this this planning for your New Year's resolutions during the New Year's. No, you already want to have your New Year's resolution, and you want to be understanding how to achieve your goal. So when you have your New Year's, you can celebrate the fact that you know what to do. You can celebrate the fact that you got clarity. You can celebrate the fact that you know your path that you're going to be walking on, no matter if it changes. So that is the idea. We want you to focus on taking the time to make sure that you can see the changes that you want to see. So if you can't see the changes, go check out Soul's Respark Adventure. Soul's Respark Adventure comes out December 25th. It's a wonderful chance to give somebody a Christmas present about how you can maintain all the changes about the story of Aliyah. Aliyah is the character in the story of a tale of self-help. But when she goes off and she utilizes the tools and skills that she needs, she is enacting our next book, which is called Soul's Respark Adventure. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited. Hey, sorry to scare you, but I'm really excited for that. I'm really excited for that for the simple fact that it's so much more than what you think. So when those people who read the book and they see how strong the cover is, they're going to be like, nice. And then they can see the pre-order for Souls, and they're going to be like, that's strong too, nice. But then when they actually open the book and they see all the value that they get in there, woo! So if you want to get a preview, and if you want to help me out and pre-read the book, give me some critical feedback and criticisms, I will definitely be grateful for it. Just send me an email saying that you want like free copy, and in that free email, state your name, state how you found me, and guess what? We'll get to book clubbing. So, all right, that's enough announcements for today. Yeah, I feel like I want to throw on some jazzy music. Yeah, I'm gonna roll these down, cut on a little bit of jazz music for us, and get on this reading. I'm sorry. So, 26-minute video. Should be a nice little time frame for reading. All right. So, let's get started on this reading. let me skip the cut on this. The energies that I've been feeling like, I know a lot of people have been talking about the 1111 portal, but none of those things mean anything unless you have your intentions behind it. You're going to have your natural tendencies to do stuff. You're going to have your natural do's, but when you're doing what you're doing, you got to understand that things change. And so as things are changing in life for you, you have to pay attention to the things that you are focused on. So sometimes it's just a simple understanding of knowing where you're putting your energy. So for me, I have a pretty good understanding of seeing what energies wants to pop up. The energies that want to pop up, I'm normally pretty good at seeing that even when they don't rise out of people. And when they don't rise out of people, that's cool because I can address that for that person, and then they'll be like, damn, how did he know? And I'll be like, it's written all over your face. It's sitting here all over your heart. It's written all over you. But what is our first card, our overall energy? That energy helps us understand too. We have this dualistic point of view, this energy that helps us say this or that, short or tall, big or small, left side or right side. This is this dynamic, but people don't understand there's a left side to your left side, and then there's a right side to your right side. So there's a left, and there's a right, extremes. And as we have these extremes, people can see you stressing over things that are extreme to you. And that might not be the case for everybody, but sometimes it just takes two. Two conflicting ideas. Two things that make you say this or that. Two, period. The two. That's what we see right now. So what else do we have? Because these choices that we're making, the 11, the 11, the 2, these choices are coming up to see what we intend on changing. Going from Y2 into Y1 and finding the difference. This is slope. Again, I talk about slope a lot because these are school-based things to help you understand the non-school world. The non-school world, aka life. That is what I'm talking about. Life happens differently from people, but it's the same exact application. It's the same math. You got to add on to your life. I'm sorry. Everybody has to do it. So if you don't know how to add, then you're fucking up. We tried to teach you. But then if you don't know how to add complex stuff, that's your fault. You should have learned how to multiply. And if you can't multiply complex figures, then you need to get off the computer and stop using the exponential rates of these viral videos. If you don't understand it, you need to go find a way to understand it. If you don't get it, go look at the ways that you can. That is these choices that you're going through. 1111 says, stop playing with yourself. 1111 says, stop messing around with the things you've been messing around with. 1111 says, you've already been here. What you gonna do next? Here's a story. Let's see if this card aligns with the story. Didn't see the card, it fell out, but let's see. You tell me. The story that I'm going to give you is the fact that I'm at a position in my life I've been in 2 times. I'm talking energetically. This here is 2. This is a physical card. 2 choices. But energetically, I've been in this space 2 different times. The first time I've been in this space is when I designed fitness motivation. When I created fitness motivation, I had nothing but that on my mind. That's the only thing I wanted to do. This online schooling program helps you understand that you can do it for yourself. I had to do it for myself. So I decided to write down what I did for myself so other people can do it for themselves. But in the middle of me doing it for myself, I realized other people was doing it for themselves in a different way. And then I realized, more importantly, people didn't even realize what they were doing. They were just taking action. And because I can take action too, and then because I can think, I made choices on what I wanted to take action on. And when I taught that lesson, it changed the game for people. That is Respark Fitness Motivation. We're trying to re-motivate ourselves through fitness because the fitness itself, it houses the memory that I'm trying to trigger, aka that feeling. And so when you learn how to approach yourself by giving yourself things that will trigger specific memories, which house certain feelings, that's going to allow you to make any choice that you want to make based upon your mind and your body, your mind and your heart. And that helps you with any type of two choices you want to bring into routine. Now, why is this important? Everyone's different. So, Resmart Fitness Motivation is not me teaching you my way. My way is to be open to all ways, the generalization. I like to teach people how to do things generally, but I also realize that I specifically help people. So, what do? I take the same feeling that I had when I had that creation, and I made my first few books. Commercial. I'm sorry. Here's the card. Commercials. They're here. Go buy crypto. It's going crazy. But anyways, the second time I had the feelings when I made my online school. The first time I had it is when I made my online books. And so what am I doing right now? I just made 2 new books that are way more practical for you. But it's 2. And I'm talking about it and I'm marketing them, promoting them. And it's coming out a little bit differently because I'm different. And guess what? It's because I made the choice not to just choose one way. I made the choice to be open to changing my choice. That is the key behind this 2 of Pentacles or 2 of Presents. We're looking at the choices that we made and being okay with changing them. So in this 1111 portal that most of us are talking about, hopefully you decided to make the changes of the choices that you've already made. Maybe I've already made my change. Maybe I've already decided that I don't want to change. But you can change that decision. And it doesn't matter what you change it to. What matters is that you are okay with what you're doing. And that's what this card should tell us. Oh, look at that. It's the Tower sideways. Tower card and it being sideways says you're starting new foundations and new start foundations are being began. And because it's happening sideways, that means the both sides of this card is happening. The ups and the downs. The positives and the negatives. In other words, there's towers that stay put and there's towers that fall. People have different understandings about these things happening upright and these things happening in reversal, but they forget that that's just an integer in math. An integer in math class just has 2 different ways to show the absolute magnitude of something. So if I have an absolute value of 2, this says that I have 2 spaces. You can have 2 spaces at the negative, and you can have 2 spaces at the positive, but at the end of the day, we got 2. So we got to start seeing life through integers because, again, life already moves that way. If you're making choices, you're going to bring the tower down for certain people while you're bringing the tower down for yourself. So for you, it's like this, but for them, it's like this. This is the opposites. This is why it's important to see heads and tails and say, fuck them both. I got a coin. My coin called a nickel has a heads and a tails, and then my coin called a quarter also has a heads and a tails. The coin matters so much more because it allows for the variety of something that remains the same. Something that is fixed, yet changing. Fixed signs across mutabilities. What's our final card for this little channel message of today? Making choices, making decisions. Again, A Tale of Self-Help really helps with that because it's an honest book, man, and it was the eyes of another person, but it's all secondary. This is me telling somebody that something that I'm not telling you. But what I'm telling you is that if you go see and read the book, you'll see what I'm telling you, and then you'll be able to say, damn, that's actually all he's talking about. All I'm talking about is how can you overcome the boogeyman within your own mind? How can you get over your own BS? How can you do that? Well, this is telling us to look at both sides and look at causing towers to both sides. Causing towers to both sides of you. Why? Because you need it. Sometimes you need to not be as nice. Bring a tower to your friendliness and clean that up. Sometimes you need to stop being so mean and try something new. Step out of that and do it. Again, bring a tower. But if you don't know how to make the choice, guess what? Start breaking down pieces, start building up pieces, take a step back, and then find your pattern. This is how I teach intellect when I'm working with people. When we're looking at doing intellectual tests like GATE or KBIT or the NNAT, these KBIC, all these intellectual examinations, I help people with that. So guess what? This is the way I teach it. You got to look at the geometries, then you got to look at the algebras, and then you got to put that shit together across what we call application. And that can be applied in science. Science is the best way because science shows you things like cooking. It shows you things like driving. It shows you things like just walking down the damn street. But because the sciences help us touch what we're talking about, that's why I like to convey it a lot more. Because again, if I'm cooking, I can overcook something or I can undercook something. That is this two of pentacle aspect. That's it. If you start to see it like that, then you can start to see the tower as me building up positives or me building up negatives. It's just a direction towards my momentums. That's because you can cause towers without even trying. So what does that mean? Well, that means you need to look at how you feel and look at the details behind those feelings. Take a look at the details. So as you look at the details behind what you're feeling, then you can look at the details behind what you're doing. So here's an example of me. I want to do everything that I've said, but I got to work a long shift today. I don't want to work the long shift. I'd rather keep doing what I'm doing because I love it. And I want to do other things in between. But because I start my shift earlier, it's a morning shift and then it ends at fucking like 7 or some shit. 7 or 8. It's just like, damn, all my day is going to be spent. I'm not going to have enough time to go to the gym like I want to. I'm going to have the time to do service-based things like DoorDash or Instacart. I'm not going to have time to work on the project or the campaign for the books that I'm talking about. I made a bunch of content this morning. I don't have enough time to edit those because I'm going to start editing my videos again just to give a little bit more energy. And so guess what? I don't want to have this part-time job anymore just because I got to go there. If I had a chance to be where I was at and work wherever, that would be cool. I wouldn't mind that. But because I got to go to a physical space and I got to block off a certain amount of time to service people who are coming in and out, have gaps in between, have people I really want to work with and have people I don't want to work with, looking at the details, it's not making me feel as comfortable or as good as it once did. This two-cup exchange is telling me that one of these cups has an upright tower, one of these cups has a downright. That is already showing me that these two things here are already occurring. I need to look at the details so I can feel comfortable with no matter what choice I make in my physical world. No matter which portal you choose on the 1111, whether it's the left 11 or the right 11, you're going to jump through the portal and you're jumping through there already. And the portals don't close right away. The portals are open until the planets leave. So a bus is going to leave at 2:15. I don't care if you're here at 2:10. You can get onto the portal or the beacon of light, but we're not leaving yet. That's where we're at right now on this day. In what is it, the 13th or something? 14th. So today's the 14th. 3 days later, we're about to leave. But people are still making those choices. So the decisions that you find in your details are going to be made based upon how you feel. And if you're feeling better than one side of you than the other, then that's the choice you need to make as this choice or that choice. This one or that one. It's just the two. That's it. And these are two really good two cards. Again, two emotions exchanging, two routes, two roads, two portals to take. I can choose this slide or that slide. This candy or that candy. This favorite or that favorite. I got options. I just need to know the details. So for me, I'm planning on quitting my part-time job like as soon as I can. And as soon as I can, that is when two of my favorite students take their assessments. But if it's too long, I'm not going to stay. So I'm trying to leave around like December or finish up November because I just don't want to give time. I don't want to give time, and then I'm trying to reduce my time, my availability to just 2 days out the week, and slowly dwindle those down. Just because I feel that inspired action of like when I built a whole fucking online school, or when I took a whole 6 months course in a fucking week. Like, I've done these things and I've seen myself like achieve really big things with energy. But in the past, when I was achieving those things in the past, they were just things to do. Now, the things that I want to do, because I have new details about my feelings, now the things that I want to do, man, I feel really good about the things that I'm doing, even though I've already done them in the past. I've done these things like make videos in the past. I've been making videos on Mr. New Yaps for like 4 or 5 years now, and I barely got like 70 subscribers. It's just because I haven't been consistent and I haven't had a real purpose. But my purpose has been what I've done, which is just to be myself. Then I started doing the tarot. I was already doing tarot, but I was afraid to do a YouTube channel. And now I'm here doing YouTube. And it's been a couple of months and it's been going great. I love being able to use these cards to express. But I love football season. So now I'm using my other channel to just use me as myself. So I'm yapping about everything. Yapping about sports, life, learning, whatever. I'm over there and I'm yapping. But I want to make it more applicable to people, so I can now I got to edit my videos, turn them into shorts. Again, it's bringing a tower moment to all the things that I thought I was going to be doing right now. I thought I was going to be enjoying this job, enjoying this part-time job, and just living life and working. But no, it's life is forcing me to step into the portal that's going to require me to focus on myself. Even if I got to use a job for a little bit. And I've used this job and it's made me comfortable and it got me where I am right now. And it's taking me to a spot to where I feel like I need to make a change again. So I can't make the change I need to make with them being in my life. So I'm bringing the tower down on myself, but this is what the tower looks like for me. The tower coming down in the physical world is just standing upright in the mirrored world. That's it. So inside of me, I got the right cup now. Outside of me, probably going to be looking like I'm making the wrong choice. But I got the details though. It's myself. I got the details. So of the major things that are happening, I got the major details that matter. So on these smaller scales, it doesn't matter if people don't see how I feel. It doesn't matter if people don't understand what steps I want to take. I want to do it. I'd rather wake up and be able to smoke a little bit of ganja and then tell these videos, get myself up, and now it's 5 o'clock or 9 o'clock. It's been like 5 hours later, 3 hours later, and I've been so productive in this day. And normally I would, again, if this was a different day, I would go to the gym and like enjoy nature. Like, it's giving me a chance to appreciate all the things that I left behind when I was doing other lives. When I was in this path versus that path. When I was on the other route, it just didn't leave me enough space, because when I'm doing the jobs like working with people I don't want to work with, helping people who don't value the help they're receiving, when I'm around people like that, it drains me. It makes me need an extra day of just doing nothing. But when I'm by myself, like today on to Monday, when I'm by myself and I don't have to go to the job, I'm doing amazing. I'm choosing things. Money is flowing easy to me. Ideas is happening. Projects and things are getting done. Goals are being planned. Lists are being made. Motherfucking feel like Santa Claus. I feel like Santa Claus getting ready for the next year, which is why it's so important to check out a tale of self-inspiration. I can talk it all day, but not everybody's going to get what I'm saying. So if you read it and you can read and you can understand the visuals that I'm putting in that book through another character, then hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. But the goal is for you to hear yourself saying the same shit that I'm just saying outside of you. I'm a mirror to all the parts of you that do not care. I'm a mirror The parts of you that choose to ignore the parts of me that is just verbalizing the parts of you, I'm here as a mouthpiece for them. I'm standing up for the little thoughts. I'm standing up for the little feelings that you have that want to help you make the change. You got to make the decision. You got to be okay with causing towers for people and building up towers for yourself. You got to be okay with understanding details matter. You got to be okay with understanding details take time. Details move slower. Details create envision. Details create envisionment. Details create description. The details create the life that you live in. And sometimes you need to live that life by yourself in a way that people don't like the motherfucker living underneath the stairs. You're living under the stairs. The stairs is just a walkway. Why are you here? This is just a temporal space for you. This is just a temporary emotion. This is just a temporary thought, temporary relationship, temporary job. What you gonna do? Why are you here? What is the purpose? Those are the details. So let's get to these details of life. Let's get a final message for us. Again, we're getting these details so we can overcome the obstacles of other people. I don't need to have people tell me I'm good. I don't need to have people tell me I'm bad. The goal is to do. And the people appreciate, that shit is on them. I'm going to do though. I'm going to do things that I know will make me happy. And if I'm happy about seeing this funny ass joke online or this meme online or hearing this nice message online or reading this fire book or going on that date or having that conversation or making that old lady smile or talking to the person in a stern way to show them they need to stop treating people like this, or if I need to go ahead and do some dirty shit like say, hey, I'm not fucking coming in today and I'm not, that's all. Or I need to go and say, hey, stop fucking doing that to that person. That's not right. Or I can say, that shit looks bad, but that person looks like they need to stand up for themselves. I'm going to focus on my damn business. There's a lot of different options, right? Lots of different things you can do, right? These choices that you're making, they are so important to make them based upon how you feel. And if you are forced to make a choice when you feel good about both options, like love helping kids, they're the future, or to helping people who rather help themselves, I'd rather help the people who rather help themselves than the kids who are being forced by their parents. I just don't like helping people who don't like getting help. Why fight their own fight? No, I'm going to live my life and help those who know how to help themselves. I'm not going to go and reach out to you. I don't feel like that's what I should do. So I'm going to attract the people to me, which means I got to do a lot more. That means I got to know a lot more. That means I got to be versatile. That means I got to have a lot of information here and a little bit of information there. I got to know where I'm at. I got to know how to gauge myself. I got to know how to appraise my skill value. I got to know how to put value on ourselves, because we say if you don't value yourself, you let anything slide. So the idea is, what are the details? What are the details behind the things that you do that make you valuable or not? What are the choices that you're making that make you feel like you're doing the right thing, opposed to being obligated to what people perceive that thing to be? Again, things for you might not be good for others. Things for others might not be good for you. So we need to look at being neutral. We need to look at just seeing it as what it is. It's just an opportunity. It's just a space. It's absolutes. Yeah, we can talk in terms of positives and negatives, but absolutely, did you fuck up? Yeah, you did. It's just absolutely what happened. Did you fuck up hard? No. You made a little mistake. Did you fuck up hard? Yeah, bro, we in some fucking trouble. This is the choices that you're making, and it's just life that you live in, but the life should be lived based upon what makes you feel good and makes you feel bad. And even if you got to be choice between two bad feelings, you got to understand which makes you feel better, which is, again, the whole purpose of having the details, which is why I like to use school and education to help us bring towers to the things that bring towers to us. Bring a tower to that person inside of you that is scared to ride the roller coaster and talk to him like he a bitch. Ah, you a bitch. You don't want to ride the roller coaster. We drove all of this way to hop on this roller coaster. We spent $25 for this ticket, and you talking about you scared and don't want to get on? Oh, man. You a punk. Hey, man, I ain't no punk. And then you overcome your fear. Do you scare? The reason why I give that story, that's a real life story for me. I rode a roller coaster. I drove some hours to find the roller coaster, and then I had to walk out like an hour, and then I got lost on the way back. But again, that's the second story. But again, I was scared as fuck, and I didn't want to do it. But I knew I needed to go inject some fun into my world, and so me just talking to random people and telling them how scared I was so fun to me. And then I'm getting to the point because I'm rolling solo dolo, so I'm by myself. Everybody else got groups of people or friends. I'm just in line laughing with anybody I choose to because I'm not attached to anything like I'm trying to be like with my job. But I can insert myself in certain groups, and different parts of my personality come out depending on the group. So if joking with a dude and his girl, depending on if his girl think I'm attractive or not, I'm going to joke differently from if they're clearly in love and solid in a relationship. Now we talk like we're all sitting at the lunch table together, versus me trying to sell the dude on the joke to where I can quell his own thought processes of, damn, this dude might be trying to take my girl because they funny. No, no, no. I'm just sitting here trying to enjoy this fear that I have, and I'm trying to make that fear not seem as scary because I'm trying to make it fun. It's a fun thing if I was scared with my friends, joking and laughing like everybody else, but because I was by myself, then again, my only thoughts are my only friends. Unless I can choose to take one of these feelings, fear or the joy, and then I can choose to express the fear of the joy in this way, or I can express the fear of the joy in that way. And again, it's the fear or the joy on both sides. What happens is the presentation. So if you're going to be scared and you're going to act scared, people are going to see scary ass nigga. If you're going to be scared and act tough, people are going to see funny ass nigga. Funny ass dude making jokes about how scared he is. Versus this dude is quaking in his boots, not wanting to talk to nobody, mad at the world. What? Two different ways to see that fearful energy. But on the other side, if you got happy energy and this dude is just acting like he's not scared at all, people might get annoyed. But then if you're joking and laughing with everybody, people might get excited and now they're not scared. The idea is, because I had a little bit of details on my mind, because I had some changes in my brain, I was able to say, hey, okay, I see the difference. I can't stop it. It's a positive intent behind me doing this or stepping into this portal. Now everything from here on out is going to be the benefit of me because I made the choice of I want to do this. So because I want to do this, that means that little detail is what's going to help me ride the waves of the towers, whether they're down or whether they're up. They're just this way. They're mirror images swinging along the changes of life. That's because the card came out this way. So it doesn't matter which way that this dynamic happens. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you can see both sides. It's a coin now, and you're looking at the heads or tails. You don't care if it's a quarter, and you're looking at this president versus that. What we're looking at is the fact that you can overcome it both. You can look at the two, and you can choose how to express it. Again, you know two ways to handle this oogie boogie. My job example, I can choose to put in my 2 weeks. I can choose to set a date for my exit. Or I can say, man, fuck that. I'm just leaving today. I have that choice. And that's the beautiful thing. Like, it's beautiful to know I have that choice as an employee. But it's a part-time employee. I have fears. But it's not nothing as scary as not being able to try to do the things that make me feel like this. Make me feel so excited. I'd rather have this feeling even if my world around me looks terrible. Like being homeless, living in your car. That doesn't change me. What changes me is if I'm going to choose to go back to, let's say, the school system because I want to get an apartment. No, I'd rather learn how to keep this feeling and learn how people who live in RVs travel and live life. People who live in their car travel and live life. People who are retired and who travel from place to place. People who work traveling jobs like a traveling nurse or a traveling tech or a consultant. Those are people who live on the road. So guess what? I've I've been training. I've been living on the road. I don't have the same fears that I used to have about jobs and bills and all of that shit. I don't have that same financial fear any longer, even when I had that same feeling of no fears with the jobs like teaching. Teaching is a very stable job for a person like me. I was spending money. I was good. I have no reason to complain about a teacher's salary. It just had me, and I had the shit that I wanted to buy, and that's it. In different points of my teaching career, I was buying different shit. And towards the end of my teaching career, I was buying a lot of things to either keep me teaching and then spending the rest on that on either surviving or trying to advance, or most of it was going to keeping me teaching. And that shit came to the negative vibrations. Bad food or good food, but it was things to distract me from the fact that I didn't feel this way. Because I didn't feel good, I had to do things to make me feel good. And I spent a lot of the money that I was earning on things that make me feel good, like clothes, like food, like smoking and drinking and partying and clubbing and shit. I had to do those things to show myself that all the things that I cared about in this world, this choice, this decision, is still not making me feel good. So I got to stop it. It's draining everything around me. And then I took another job. Let me change it up. Let me stop teaching and let me be a counselor. And I still got the same boat, because even though I'm making way more money than a teacher, damn near double the amount of money as a teacher, guess what? More responsibility, more bullshit, more draining, more drinking, more smoking, more playing video games. And it was just all of that came with more. More disrespect of my animals, more disrespect of my plants. But guess what? I still took care of my animals. I still grew my garden when I had my little apartment. I still worked out because it was right down. I made sure that I had an apartment complex that had a gym, because sometimes I didn't want to drive nowhere. So I made sure that I at least had the things in my life that I knew was going to re-energize me and charge me up. But I didn't take away enough of the things that was causing me to be in the negative. So again, I had to reorganize my budget. I had to reorganize my energetic budget. And I had to say, I don't care which towers are being caused in my day-to-day life. Guess what? Doesn't matter. I understand the details behind it. And people don't. So it doesn't matter if people understand the details of your choices. You can explain it. And if they get it, they get it. But if you choose to explain it, that's it, that's all. They don't need to know the details. They need to appreciate the story being told. So for us, our story needs to be told based upon what makes us feel like it's motherfucking Christmas Day, and you're either excited to open some presents or you're excited to see your kids' reaction to the presents that they've been asking for, that you've been telling them they ain't about to get all year. And guess what? I got my motherfucking N64 back. Well, I guess. My PS5 nowadays, N64 is back in the day with my age, and I was so excited that time. But if I had a PS5 and I was a kid, it would be the same excitement. That's the kind of feeling that we want to take on our day to day. If you're not around people, if you're not around a job, if you're not doing things that make you feel like I'm happy as fuck for somebody else's happiness, you got to go. You got to get the fuck going. It's all in the details, though. So what's our final message? Emperor, yay! The Emperor says that what we have in front of us is nothing but an opportunity to make those choices. You are realizing that making these choices is this energy. The Emperor just has to make the choice. It doesn't matter if it's bringing towers or not. The Emperor makes a list. The Emperor checks it twice. He decides who's naughty or who's nice. And that's it. And that's what it takes to be the Emperor. There's no feelings involved. There's no thoughts involved. The feeling comes from the structure. The feeling comes from the responsibility. The feeling comes from knowing that on this journey, whether it's up or down, baby, I'm happy as fuck. This is your gym rats. These are your artists. These are your people who do the same things over and over and over. Like, damn, bro, how can you be a bodybuilder when all you do is just lift weights? Because I love the feeling. I understand the details behind the differences of when I was a youngin versus when I was a champion. I know the differences. And so it's so fun to me making a list of the details and checking that shit twice. I can find out which of these details is being naughty or nice to me. So make sure you're making the choices that are making you feel good. And when you feel good, you do good. When you do good, you get great. So to be great is to know that the choices you make are already excellent. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for being here on this Face View YouTube channel, view show, whatever. But nonetheless, I love you. And I appreciate you for loving me back. So, see you next time. Peace.